States. If it wasn't for my wife and my child, I'll tell you right now, and a lot of guys from Vietnam people wish we would have never come home to what we come home to. You guys are what this is all about. The city parks, the swings that you're talking about, being a park and recreation major and a PD major and a coach, those are things you want to keep, because people come in from Vegas, people come in from Nebraska, they come in from Iowa, they see them. They don't see them anymore because everybody's taking them down and throwing them away. Scrap metal, here we go. Stuff like that you need to keep. What you did right with the train is right. It is special. I grew up in the railroads. My mom's father and great-grandfather were telegraph operators for the Union Pacific in Santa Fe. You guys all know my wife. I will give you guys, once I get up here, from finally the government lets me retire, I will give you my heart and soul to help whatever you guys need to make this place work up here. You don't realize how special this is to people in Vegas that are not from Vegas. They're from the Midwest, they're from Montana, they're from New York. We have a golden spot here. People go up to Cave Lake, they think they're in Switzerland. You guys are doing a good job. Just all I can say is just keep it up and realize, like the lady said, you're serving the people. You are the people. You're not up here for anybody individual. You're up here for the town. And you're going to fight cats and dogs all your life. I fight with Harry Reid and all the senators once a week when I have to go back to Washington. I have to fight with all of them. And I got Steve. I'm going to try to help you guys, if I can, this UAV program that they're trying to bring into these places. I can give you ideas on how to maybe get one here. It's going to take work, but it can be done. You've got the perfect spot for it. I've been in Afghanistan. You're looking at it except for the desert. Okay? All I can say is thank you guys very much. And take care of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, as I was saying earlier, on the request for information in NRS 239.0107, your response has been poor at best. How long do I have to wait? In reviewing your January permits, Mr. Mayor, in regards to building, still you have no value for each individual applicant, and no fees, a bulk figure. Does that mean one person paid it all? Or did everybody pay their fair share? You need to reflect that. On your new business forms, you show businesses that are doing business here, no local address, nor if they're paying any landfill. When you're in business, you have an obligation to pay the fees as other businesses do in this community. Mr. Mayor, you to date have not addressed as to why you're charging me commercial rates for my home when I'm not in business. I am again requesting your response in writing or the basis for your refusal. I am again requesting a copy of State Senator Pete Gogachia's landfill billing, which he stated at a county commission meeting was approximately $500 or more without any penalties and or interest. Again, I'm asking, has Mr. Bath paid his connection fees? Has Mr. Christiansen paid his extension obligation? Were any late fees, penalties, and or interest collected from those individuals, or you're collecting from other people? Mr. Mayor, in reviewing what few permits you, what few permit reports you have provided, I've yet to see where County Commission Chairman John Ambrose has applied and received a variance regarding setbacks on his new construction. We all pay the same fees, Mr. Mayor. It appears you might be doing special favors, and that needs to stop. Mr. Mayor, earlier you had Mr. Husbands in here representing the railroad. I thought having two attorneys is more than sufficient. I don't know where you guys are coming from and paying more attorneys, more fees. Simply progress. Well, who's paying?
That's an independent thing. That has nothing to do with the city or the railroad. That's what Joan and Mark.
Oh, that's fine. I thought it was coming from, he was being paid with the railroad monies? No? Okay. then I don't have a problem with that. I just thought since the city was paying 2 attorneys, we didn't need to pay 3. I thought maybe, the way you spend your money, you're being grateful.
Well, welcome.
You are, Mr. Mayor, and that's why I'm here. Mr. Mayor, again in reading City Code Chapter 6, Section 1-6F-7, states that any person interfering with the city engineer, such person so offending, is guilty of a misdemeanor. Have you done anything with Mr. Carson in that particular problem?
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Could I get some kind of answer, Mr. Mayor? You want another copy of NRS 239?
Yeah, I might need that.
I don't have a Braille version, but I'm sure.
Anybody else for public comment? No other public comment. I close public comment. And before we go to adjournment, I will. So we do have Mr. Cochran.
Yeah, if I'm not too late, I will make a brief public comment. Perhaps because we're in a theater today, I'm motivated to say that I am shocked to find that we have internal control problems here. All these complaints about impact to the railroad, I think, are chargeable to Mark Bassett and to 2 other business members, people I know and converse with in this community. It was no one that's in front of me who carried on about shutting down the railroad, who talked to employees about losing their jobs individually and in group meetings. It was no one here in front of me who required repeated requests to produce documents, some of which are still not met. Nor was it anyone here who talked about selling the railroad. By the way, as far as I understand it, an act is not legally possible without consideration from Kennecott, the reversionary interest holder. I don't think that the railroad has been terribly well managed. We're all very optimistic. But before we get into too much congratulatory activity, I'm really glad everyone's re-engaged on this. But the railroad is run at a loss every year that I've been able to find, despite standing subsidies found appropriate by the city in the form of insurance and that sort of thing. The audit fixes that are there, which are not uncommon, they exist at the county government where I work, although I'm speaking in my own capacity today, have been there for a long time. So I congratulate the people in front of me, staff and elected officials, for doing their part to energize everyone to make sure that this happens, because this is the biggest single asset the city owns. And it certainly is the one with the largest spillover and commercial value. I know the people that sit on the Railroad Management Board have its interest in heart, as they do the city, but I think everyone now will look a little harder at fulfilling their obligations on this and not just disregarding the same routine audit report that we all get to see on an annual basis and perhaps, I would say, underreact to. I would just close in saying nothing cleanses like sunlight. Everyone's had the benefit of a little bit of sunburn on this in the last 6 or 8 weeks, or 12 weeks, but I think it's all for the good. Before I run out of time, I want to use my last 30 seconds to say I think this is not a good choice of a place to meet. The lighting is horrible. I'm having trouble reading. People couldn't hear the things you were saying. Pardon me?
We'll be back in the Army next time.
Okay, and I don't think I said horrible. Did I say horrible?
I don't know.
I hope I didn't. I don't think it's a good place. Lighting. I think there is an ambient level, understandable, of hostility. One person who spoke today said that. Another person who didn't speak said the same thing to me. I know that there's a lot of tension. There's even rising to the level of legal action against some of you that are now, or legal complaints about some of you that are in front of me. To bring you into the belly of the beast for a meeting like that seems inappropriate under the OML, which talks about, among other things, private businesses and places where some people would not feel comfortable entering. I don't think you kept a log on who all appeared today, as it's typically done.
Oh, yes, we did.
Is there one back there?
Oh, yes, I did.
Good. So you'll have a count, a good count, and know how to go next time. But I would liken it to having a restaurant zoning meeting and borrowing a room at a bargain rate from the prospector. It wouldn't really fit. So, thank you for the 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else for public comment? And if you coming down here, oh, that's good. Okay, well, I'll close public comment. We have a closed session on what was it called?
For union negotiations, we don't need.
Yeah, we don't need that, so we'll move on to number 16, adjournment.
Second.
Did you want to say something? Oh, okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.
Ronnie.
This has been a Georgetown production. George Chachis reporting. The preceding program was sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Ely TV, Channel 3-2 in Ely, Nevada. Local news telecasts can be seen Monday through Friday at 12:30 and 6:30 p.m. on this station.